In this After Effects tutorial, we're going to go over how to create a new project and where the project settings are. Let's get to it. To create a new project in After Effects, simply open After Effects and click on this button that says New Project. Yes, it is that easy. Once you click on that, you're going to be presented with the default workspace in After Effects. So if you're getting tooltips like this one here, you can simply click OK to dismiss it. The project settings are here under File, Project Settings. Once you click on there, a new dialog opens and you will be presented with several tabs. The first tab has to do with video rendering and effects. And notice that I have a drop-down menu here set to Mercury GPU Acceleration CUDA. If you click there, you will be presented with other options, including OpenCL and software only. The options that you have in here depend on the hardware that you have installed in your system. Especially between Windows and Mac, you may see something that says Metal, or you might not see the CUDA at all. So I am using CUDA, which is part of the NVIDIA rendering cards, because I'm using this Dell computer and I have an NVIDIA RTX card in here. And that's the GPU or graphics processing unit. Set it to whatever you think is going to be best. And if all you have is the choice of software only, that simply means that you don't have a video card in your system that supports acceleration of rendering in After Effects. Fear not, your effects and your playback are still being accelerated through the Mercury playback engine. The next tab has to do with time display style. And we are going to use a time code that uses the media source. So if the media starts at a time code that is not 0, this will use the media source. If you don't want that, if you want for every single clip to start at 0, simply choose it here from this drop-down menu. I'm going to leave it at Use Media Source. In fact, I'm going to leave everything at its default. You can also choose frames. You don't have to use timecode. Like if you're working for film, you could use feet and frames for 16mm or 35mm, and you can also change the frame count to start at 0, at 1, or a timecode conversion. Like I said, I'm going to leave everything at its default, so I'm going to go back to timecode. When it comes to color management, you can change how After Effects performs this color management. So right now, the color engine is Adobe Color Manage, but you can change it to OCO. So if you do want to change it, notice that you're going to get these warnings. Changes to the color engine has an impact in the color management, blah, blah, blah. So I'm just going to cancel out of this. I'm going to leave it at Adobe Color Managed. This is a little bit more advanced, so I'm not really going to get into it. But if you know about color management and you want to change the color management, this would be where you do it on a project basis. When it comes to bit depth, most of the time I'm not going to even assume what you work on, but I work on 8 bits per channel. You can change this to 16 or even 32 bits per channel, and that is just an unimaginable amount of colors. I shoot and work everything in 8 bits per channel. Rarely do I work in 16. I have, but I'm going to leave it at 8 for now. You can change the LUT interpolation, the 3D LUT interpolation. You can also change the working color space. So if you want to work in a color space of Rec. 709 with a gamma of 2.4, you can do that simply by choosing it here. So I'm not going to change anything. Like I mentioned before, I'm going to leave everything at its default. In fact, when I'm done showing you all of this, I'm simply going to click on cancel. All right, you can also assume a working gamma of either 2.2 or 2.4. I'm going to leave it at 2.4 because I do work on Rec. 709. Now we can move to audio. In the audio tab, you can change the sampling rate of your audio files from 48 to 96 if you want to go higher, or lower 44.1K, which means 44,100 samples per second. That would be CD quality. I'm going to leave it at 48 because most of my stuff is done at 48, but know that you can change that. Finally, expressions. If you're going to be writing expressions, you can change this to the legacy extended script or the newer JavaScript. I'm going to leave it a JavaScript. It is fantastic. It's so much easier. So that's it. These are the project settings. I'm going to click on cancel here. The last thing I want to do is I want to save this project. So I'm going to go to File, Save As, Save As. I'm going to go to the exercise files, and remember, you have access to these. And I created an empty folder in there named Projects, and I'm just going to save it in there. I'm going to call this Project Settings, which is a much better name than Untitled Project. And now click Save, and you have now an actual project in After Effects. All right, this brings us to the end of this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.